The dog's name was Bruno. He was not a strong dog, not a fast dog, and not even a beautiful dog. His fur was rough, one of his ears was slightly torn, and his body looked weak because many days he slept hungry on cold streets. But inside Bruno's heart, there was something rare: patience. Every morning, Bruno sat outside a small bakery near the corner of a busy street. Hundreds of people passed him every day. Some ignored him, some pushed him away. Some children threw small stones at him just for fun. But Bruno never barked at anyone. He never became angry. He just quietly sat there, looking at people with tired but hopeful eyes. The bakery owner was an old man named Henry. Every night before closing the shop, Henry gave Bruno one small piece of bread. Sometimes it was fresh bread, sometimes it was dry and hard. But Bruno always accepted it thankfully. He wagged his tail as if someone had given him the biggest treasure in the world. One rainy evening, the storm became very strong. Cold wind filled the streets, shops closed early, cars disappeared. Even people were afraid to walk outside. Henry looked at Bruno sitting near the bakery door, completely wet and shivering. Henry softly said, "Poor dog, why don't you leave this place?" But Bruno did not move. Henry sighed and placed one small piece of bread near him before locking the bakery and leaving. That night was very difficult. The rain became heavier. Thunder shook the sky. Bruno's body trembled from cold. He had not eaten properly for 2 days. Still, he stayed there patiently near the bakery, because deep inside, Bruno believed something simple. If I stay loyal, someday life will change. Hello everyone, my name is Wally, and this story is not just about a dog. This story is about patience, loyalty, and the silent strength that most people lose too early. And maybe after this story, something inside you will change too. The next morning, Henry opened the bakery and was shocked. Bruno was still there, wet, weak, hungry, but still waiting quietly. Henry slowly walked toward him and said, "You really trust this place that much?" Bruno wagged his tail slowly. For the first time, Henry smiled emotionally. He brought a bowl of warm milk and fresh bread for Bruno. From that day, something changed between them. Every morning, Bruno waited outside the bakery, and every evening, Henry fed him. Weeks passed, then months passed. Bruno became healthier, but life still was not easy for him. Many nights were cold. Many days, people still treated him badly. But Bruno never lost patience. One afternoon, a rich man came to the bakery in a luxury car. He noticed Bruno quietly sitting near the entrance. The man laughed and said, "Why do you feed this useless street dog every day?" Henry calmly replied, "Because loyalty is never useless." The rich man smiled mockingly and left, but Henry's words stayed in the air. Because the truth is, many people only respect power, money, beauty, or success. Very few people respect patience. Very few people understand silent loyalty. One night, Henry suddenly became very sick while closing the bakery. His hands shook badly. He collapsed inside the shop. The street was empty. Nobody saw him. Nobody heard him, except Bruno. Bruno immediately stood up and started barking loudly. He barked again and again. He ran into the street desperately, trying to stop people. Most ignored him. Some got annoyed, but Bruno did not stop. Finally, a young delivery boy noticed something was wrong. He followed Bruno into the bakery and found Henry unconscious on the floor. An ambulance was called quickly. Doctors later said something important. If he arrived a little later, he might not have survived. When Henry woke up in the hospital, the first thing he asked was, "Where is Bruno?" The nurses smiled. "Your dog saved your life." Henry's eyes filled with tears. For years, people called Bruno useless. But in one night, his patience and loyalty became more valuable than anything else. After Henry recovered, he brought Bruno home permanently. For the first time in his life, Bruno had a warm bed. For the first time, he slept without fear. For the first time, he did not need to wait outside in the rain. But the beautiful part of the story is this. Bruno never changed. Even after receiving love, he stayed humble. Even after finding comfort, he stayed loyal. Even after life became easier, he stayed patient. And that is where most humans fail. Many people become arrogant after small success. Many people become impatient when life becomes difficult. Many people quit too early because results are slow. But patience always works quietly. A seed does not become a tree in one day. The sun does not rise immediately after the darkest hour. And good things rarely come fast. One evening, Henry sat beside Bruno and gently said, "You waited outside my bakery for months without knowing if life would ever become better. Yet you stayed loyal. Humans could learn a lot from you." Bruno simply rested his head near Henry's feet peacefully. Years later, people in the town knew Bruno as the faithful dog. Customers came to the bakery not only for bread, but also to see the dog whose patience changed his destiny. Children who once threw stones at him now lovingly patted his head. People who once ignored him now respected him. But Bruno never asked for revenge. He never hated anyone, because patience does not waste time proving people wrong. Patience simply waits for truth to reveal itself naturally. And honestly, this is something many of us need to understand. Today, people want everything immediately. Fast success, fast money, fast results, fast happiness. And when life delays something, they become angry, frustrated, and hopeless. But sometimes life is not rejecting you. Sometimes life is preparing you. Sometimes the waiting season is building your strength quietly. Because if Bruno had left the bakery during those painful nights, he would never have found a home. If he became aggressive and angry, Henry would never trust him. If he lost patience, his story would end on the streets. And many people are doing exactly that in real life. They leave too early. They quit too early. They lose hope too early. Patience is painful sometimes, but impatience destroys futures. So if life feels slow right now, if nobody notices your struggle, if your hard work is not giving results yet, do not lose hope. Keep going quietly, keep improving silently, keep trusting the process, because patience has a strange power. It tests people first, then rewards them later. And maybe your biggest